because I haven't used it. I'd like a tutorial, please.
Well, welcome. Fabulous to have you here this evening. And this is our second Women's Voices glimpse. And I am joined by the amazing Clinton Jordan. Now, I don't know. I've written here, performer, educator, and voice activation specialist. But I mean, basically, you're all about unlocking one's voice, really. Okay? Would that be easier to say?
That will do. Yep, that's.
But I mean, ultimately, all joking aside, the whole essence why we've been having this conversation as part of the Women's Voices event is that our voice is absolutely crucial, and safety isn't just about the places we move through, it's how we feel safe to speak within them. So hence why what you do is so crucial in this space. And I guess, look, I know you are on a mission to activate 1 million voices. So look, you don't need to listen to me. Tell me all about
that. So we are we're on a mission to just give people a new way of seeing the way they sound. They're like, yeah, I want them to see their sound in a completely different way than what they've been brought up to see, but with their sound, what they've heard from themselves through other people, saying to them, "Oh, you sound like a strangled cat," when they were a kid, in the nativity play, and that's carried through into their adult lives, and they don't get a chance to sound off with the right words that they have. Have you been in a scenario where you're in a team meeting or a group of people and you wanted to say something and you've heard it sound stupid in your head first, and that, we've all been there, haven't we? And we don't say it, and then someone else says it, and you're like, that's the same thing I was going to say. Why did it sound better with them? It's because we don't trust our voice. We don't trust the sound that we give off, we transmit. And that is because we're stuck in one sort of vocal groove. And I challenge people to really take stock of their sound. Lots of people that I meet in my world know what to say. Mm-hmm. Dare I say it? They say it better than me. But because of a trauma in the past, because of something that's hit them, what I call sonic impact trauma, it stops them right in their tracks, and they produce a sound of a vocal age of a time of the past. Let's say in school, let's say in college, or let's say because of a parent or a loved one, boyfriend or a girlfriend, whatever it is. And so what I do, what our mission is to get people trusting their voice. And listen, there are lots of people on the planet that do not know the potential of what they can deliver through their voice because they've never practiced using their voice. Just like you practice handwriting.
Well, that's my favorite comment that that sticks in my mind is that one of the first things that when we first met, you said, but we practice our handwriting, all that careful writing on tracing paper at school. And yet we don't practice our voice, and yet I think when it comes to personal safety, actually it's our voice that is so important to give us presence, to have impact, and yet we so quickly go quite silent. But I suppose and I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? It's why do people hold back from, having that voice? What is it that finally unlocks people?
When I first used to go to jiu-jitsu,
Okay.
and I would be going through these classes, and we'd be going through these drills, and the more and more I started to experiment with these drills or move into certain parts of my body that I didn't have the information to express, and then it turned into a move and into a lock. What happened was, as I started to develop in this skill, the confidence through practice, the confidence of being able to stand present in a situation where maybe it was a bit threatening, maybe like some of us have gone through, I was able to stand present and say, well, you know what? I know a few moves more than the next person. And I'm using that space, that analogy, to say, when you start to practice using your voice in different scenarios, in different places, and start to express yourself through what I said, the 4 components of the voice. When you start actually understanding that these work, when they work, in congruently together, you start seeing the room differently. You start to understand that this is the bit that we need to trust first when we go out there into these places where we're having these, we're talking with each other, and it's improvised. This is improvised right now.
Yeah.
And we're improvising, and we're talking in front of people out there. I don't know if it's 10 people or 10,000 or 10 million. But we're having an experience here through communication. And it's because you and I have practiced to use our voice in different spaces. Places, and faces.
Yeah.
But we have to conquer this space first.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's, that's one of the real themes for, the Women's Voices Days, that Heather from Surge Defence, very much, the same sort of thing as you're saying, is conquering this space first. Absolutely. Heather will say, we have to start knowing that we are worth defending in the first place, because if we don't start there, then everything else doesn't work. And I think it's our voice that so quickly is silenced when we're confronted with fear, when we're confronted with a space which feels intimidating. And I think that's why your piece on the day is so vital for people to hear, because it's knowing how to present oneself, how to project, how to stand in confidence when the world around you, however big the world is, as you say, it could be 10 people, it could be 10,000, it could be 10 million, but however many it is are around you, that's the crucial thing, is to still be able to step into that space, knowing that your voice is going to have impact, carry you forward, have confidence. It's crucial.
Absolutely. It's, I had a scenario of a person that came to me and had a very softly spoken voice. She'd also been through so much trauma, and she said, I just want to be able to stand on the stage and be able to freely deliver my sound. When that person got hold of what was already lying dormant inside, instantly she saw the room in a different manner, and she experienced extreme trauma, extreme pain. But once she was able to connect with what's inside of her through her voice, this sound gave her the ability to say, well, wait a minute. And I use the word conquer as, more in the, to master. Let's use the word master. when we start to develop the mastery of what's inside of us. You see, most of us, we are working out from the inside or from the outside. Beg your pardon. We're working out from the outside. We're trying to work out whether our face looks good, or we're looking at, the physical structure, our stature, and blah, 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 blah. There's something amazing about when you work out from the inside. And it all is, for me, in my line of mission, is predicated on the breath. When we work out what's on the breath, which we're going to open up on the day, our ROI. Yeah, you may want to write this down, people. ROI. If you want to know what that means, then and it's not what you think it is. Yeah,
it's not a return on investment.
I heard a LinkedIn where it's a return on investment. Come and join us, and I'll tell you what this are. And when we work out this on what is on the breath, we have a new impetus. We just have a new expression of mastery from the inside, and it does reflect on the outside.
I am so super excited because hopefully everyone is going to walk away from the event with just like going, oh my God, I never thought of it like this. And because I know when we've done events before,
yeah,
that people have just gone, that blew my mind. So I just know that, but before we go, for those who aren't able to join us, sadly, what's one thing that they could do today that might elevate and amplify their voice?
On some strangers, act like the voice. You know me already. Act like the voice that you want to hear, inside yourself. Mimic. Yeah. There's something about mimicking. Yeah. Mimic a voice that you like and then try it on strangers. I always tell the story of my when I went into where did I go? Was it Curry's? I think something like Curry's. And I was with my daughter, and I just mess around when I'm with my kids. And the gentleman said, "Can I help you?" And I turned and I said, "Hi, I would like if you can help me find the new Apple laptop." Now, this is a really bad American accent, and please forgive me. My American friends and my family over in America, please don't disown me. Yeah, but I went into the Currys and I said, "Could you help me with with an Apple laptop? I need this Apple laptop. I need this type of," and he was like, "Yeah, right this way, sir." And my daughter's like this. my point is that when you just be bold and try stuff new. Your audience out there don't know who you are, so who cares? Who cares? But when
that's so true, we get so hung up in it, and then our fear steps forward, and then we get consumed by that fear.
Yeah. When you try new voices, or when you try new sounds, when you try new tones and textures and timbres, and you explore and see how people react. You're a phone call away from a stranger. The person that calls you up in the middle of the day, a telesales. Try new sounds in these spaces, places, and faces, and see which one sticks. Just throw the spaghetti up on the wall and see what sticks. And when you found something, then use it in other places. And the problem is that people are not playful enough anymore. They've forgotten the art of play. Good practice happens through repetitive play. And that's one. I'll just leave that there, and I'll leave that with you.
I am so super excited to having you joining us on the 8th of November. If you want to learn anything more, that little QR code in the corner will tell you a little bit more about it. And can't wait to have you join us, Clinton. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.
Soon.